While the world feared Hitler's next move, a few men disappeared into the snow to stop it before it began. In the winter of 1943, deep within the frozen mountains of Nazi-occupied Norway, a story of incredible bravery was unfolding in secret. This wasn't a battle fought by armies, but by a handful of men against impossible odds. Their mission, codenamed Operation Gunnerside, was to destroy a single target, the Wehrmacht hydroelectric plant. The fate of the world literally rested on their shoulders. The team was made up of Norwegian commandos, young men who had escaped their occupied homeland to train in Britain. They weren't just soldiers, they were patriots, skiers, and mountaineers who knew the unforgiving Norwegian wilderness like the back of their hands. Led by the determined 23-year-old Joachim Rindberg, they understood the stakes. Their mission was more than just sabotage. It was a desperate race against time. Their journey began by parachuting into the vast, desolate Hardanger Plateau, one of Europe's harshest landscapes. Imagine the scene, descending from the sky into a world of white, with temperatures plummeting far below freezing. The landing was scattered, equipment was lost, and they were immediately plunged into a battle for survival against the elements before they could even think about the enemy. For days, they trekked through waist-deep snow, battling blizzards and starvation, their only guide the stars and their intimate knowledge of the land. Their isolation was immense. They were ghosts in their own country, hiding in remote cabins, relying on the courage of local resistance contacts who risked everything to help them. Every shadow could be a German patrol, every sound in the night a potential discovery. The psychological pressure was enormous. They had to remain invisible, moving only when absolutely necessary, conserving their strength for the final assault. Teamwork was everything. They shared their meager rations, kept each other's spirits up, and focused on the single goal that had brought them to this frozen hell. The Wehrmacht plant itself was a modern-day castle. The only access was a single, heavily guarded suspension bridge. A frontal assault was suicide. The Germans knew the plant was a target, but they never imagined anyone would attempt to scale the treacherous, ice-covered cliffs of the gorge itself. And that was exactly the commandos' plan. It was an act of pure audacity, a gamble that relied on the enemy underestimating their determination. On the night of February 27, 1943, under the cover of darkness and a howling wind, the team began their descent. They climbed down into the icy gorge, navigated a frozen river, and then began the grueling ascent up the other side, pulling themselves up rock and ice toward the silent factory. They moved like phantoms, their white camouflage blending into the snow. Above them, the German guards patrolled, completely unaware of the threat emerging from the abyss below. The tension was suffocating. A single dislodged rock, a single shout, would bring the entire garrison down on them. Once inside the plant's perimeter, they split into two groups. The demolition team, led by Rindberg, located a cable duct that provided a hidden entry into the heart of the facility, the heavy water PR adduction cells, slipping past the few guards inside. They found themselves in the high-concentration room. They worked with chilling precision, their hands steady despite the adrenaline. They weren't there to cause mass destruction, but to perform surgical sabotage. They carefully placed their explosive charges on the delicate cylinders and machinery, setting short fuses. Before lighting the fuses, they had to ensure the escape of a Norwegian caretaker who stumbled upon them. In an incredible moment of humanity amidst the chaos, they calmly explained what was happening and let him go, knowing he wouldn't raise the alarm. Then, they lit the fuses. The team sprinted out of the plant the way they came, scrambling back toward the gorge as the muffled thud of the explosions echoed from within the concrete walls. It wasn't a loud, dramatic blast, but a quiet, crippling blow. The charges did their job perfectly. The heavy water production equipment was destroyed, and hundreds of gallons of priceless heavy water washed away into the drains. While the Germans launched a massive manhunt with thousands of soldiers, the team split up. Some embarked on an epic 250-mile ski journey across the mountains to neutral Sweden, while others went into hiding with the Norwegian resistance. Incredibly, every single member of the Gunnerside team escaped. Operation Gunnerside was hailed as one of the most successful and daring sabotage missions of World War II. They had infiltrated an impregnable fortress, destroyed their target, and escaped without a single shot fired or a single life lost on their side. They weren't just soldiers. They were ordinary men who rose to an extraordinary challenge, their courage and skill altering the course of history from the shadows of a frozen Norwegian valley. If this hidden story of true heroism moved you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. More forgotten heroes are waiting to be remembered. Thank you for watching.